Hello. Today is day 3, and I want to talk about 4 different metrics and numbers that I think are extremely important in terms of scaling and creating a demand-based system for acquiring clients. Okay, let's dive into it. Okay, I want to talk about cost of acquisition, lifetime value, lifetime gross profit, and just ongoing cash flow. So, everything is about trying to scale, trying to acquire more, trying to keep people for longer in order to increase cash flow, in order to decrease how much it actually costs to bring people in, so then you can scale and then you can open other locations and you can open different branches and all those types of scenarios and obviously make more money. So, what a lot of people don't get, which is what day 1 and 2 are about, it's about cost of acquisition. It's about realizing how much it costs to bring someone in, what campaigns are bringing them in, what campaigns are bringing in the good longer term customers, what campaigns are more like a beginning, like let's say you have a lower ticket item or lower ticket service and they're coming into that, and then you have to basically upsell them later on an ongoing basis. That all matters based on LTV, your cost of acquisition, your lifetime the gross profit, and ongoing cash flow. So cost of acquisition. Let's hope I don't spell it wrong. That looks like I spelled it wrong. Lifetime value. Lifetime gross profit. So for lifetime value, you're looking at how long is someone staying and how much they're spending with you. But lifetime gross profit is to see exactly how much you make after all is said and done. Expenses and everything, overheads, everything in terms of how much you're making based on them being there. And then ongoing cash flow equals how much is being generated plus how much is being generated plus on hand. It's a loose definition, but it's just the idea that we'll go back up here. No, that's not what I want. One sec, I'll find a better image. Okay, so I'm talking about cost of acquisition, lifetime value, lifetime gross profit, and then how much is being generated, so your acquisition system. This is all a part of it because you're spending money. You're spending money here, spending money here, spending money here, you're spending money here, you're making money here, making money here. I'll erase this one. I'll put it on the bottom. So you need to know at what point during your marketing, instead of saying, oh, my marketing is working. Okay, but how? Because if this is a certain price, and this is a certain price, and this is a certain price, and this is a certain price, those all add up. You have to add those together in terms of how much those are equaling. So that these is your cost of acquisition. Oh my God. There. Okay. These are your cost of acquisition. Call booked is obviously a lead, which is nice, but they purchased for $4.99. So the upgraded plan, 5 minutes later, obviously they wouldn't do that in real life. It's just a sample image. Let's say if this is Jan 25th, 2021. Let's say this is 03. So it's March 25th, 2021. So let's say it's 2 months apart that they upgraded the plan. So, and let's hope, because you know what? Let's not say that. I was gonna say let's hope that this one is an email, so it doesn't actually cost you extra. This one here is an email, but it might not be. So let's just assume that it isn't, because you technically have to bring that into your cost of acquisition. And that's annoying that it's after the original purchase. But when you're looking at it in this entire journey, you're able to calculate it at a later date anyways, because you have all the data necessary if you are tracking it correctly, which I hope you are, because you probably watched day 1 and 2, and day 1 and 2 is telling you to do that in order to scale your marketing effectively. So those would equal your cost of acquisition. So your cost of acquisition has to be less than $4.99 plus expenses to equal profit. Plus or minus? Minus makes more sense. I was thinking of expenses and negative. Minus expenses. So the cost of acquisition. Let's give a numerical number to expenses, and let's say it is $200. So then the profit would be $2.99, but cost of acquisition has to be less than that. So then when you come back to here, if the cost of acquisition is less than $2.99, then you're making money on it, because we're saying the expenses are $200 in this hypothetical scenario. So then this has to be less than $2.99 in order to make a profit. I'm going to write that in a different color so it's more understandable. Or actually, I'll just write it all down here, which means cost of acquisition equal to less than $2.99 in order to equal profit. And that's how you're supposed to calculate your marketing. And not a lot of people are doing that. They think they're making money just based off a revenue perspective, which isn't true. You have to look at everything else. You have to look at the additionals. You have to look at the rest of the journey. You have to look at all these different pieces, because they all add up. And then when you look back on which ones are actually useful, you get to, in terms of ads, you can look at the ad campaign from here, from here, from here, and from here. And you look at the ads and you see what they do on a grand point of view. So, okay, let's say this ad here performs really well and it gets everyone started. Okay, so that's a good intro into the customer journey for a lot of people. So that means you probably have to keep it on if it's spending at a decent amount. And the second one, maybe that one actually isn't that useful and it's very expensive to pay for every time someone clicks on it. And it might not even be worth keeping up based on the other numbers in this customer journey and many others, because you're going to add all the customer journeys together to find the answer. So that's how you figure out whether something is profitable or not, before you keep running it and spend more money on it. And this is, I guess, just a lesser version of that. This is a more detailed version. This is a less detailed version. This is just showing a time span of a customer journey in terms of, it could be 1 week, it could be 6 months, 2 years. All of this directly affects how much that original cost of acquisition would be beneficial for. So this is more of an LTV or LTGP, lifetime gross profit example, because it shows that over time, because you paid that initial amount that brought in that sale, that's kind of what started everything. And in a lot of businesses, this is actually not where they're profitable. They might be profitable here instead, or here in the first repeated sale. A lot of business that have repetition, I forget the word right now off the top of my head because I'm not pausing this or anything. They know to lose, like they typically lose money on the first sale in order to have the reoccurring, that's the word I'm looking for, the reoccurring sale going afterwards in order to actually make profit. I'm going to start here next time. That's it for today. And I'll see you Monday. Happy Thanksgiving.